Namaste, angels. This is the weekly reading. It covers a period of the 28th of November through the 3rd of December. I will be using one deck primarily, but if I want to do, which is the Rider-Waite deck, the regular traditional Rider-Waite deck, but if I want to do any clarification, it will come from before the tarot and after the tarot. I'm doing it early in case I run into any problems like I've been having. I want to be able to actually get it uploaded in time. So I'm doing it early. Plus, the energy has been really good the past couple of days. There's a lot of astrological transits, positive ones today involving the planet Jupiter, the sign of Sagittarius. Jupiter, which is the planet of growth, expansion, and luck, and karma, or luck, or good things happening to you, good fortune based on karma. We have that to attribute to Jupiter. And also yesterday, unlike last week or the week before with 11/11, and people going on and on about portal, which I did not agree with, because it was actually 11/11/6. That's not a portal. Yesterday was, in my opinion, and I saw like one or two other people, viewers of mine, coincidentally, friends of mine, clients of mine, whatever, however you want to put it, all the above. But really, I didn't hear people calling it a portal or talking about it as a portal, which is kind of crazy to me because yesterday was actually one. So it was 11/22, 2022. That, and 11 equals 2, right? It's 1 equals 2. That means it was 2 2 2 2 2 yesterday. Talk about portal. And not only a portal, but a portal surrounding partnerships, right? And partnerships of all kinds. So, and I think all seventh house type stuff, because we're in this, the sun is in Sagittarius. Today, this is the 23rd. We have the new moon in Sagittarius. We have both Mercury and Venus. Venus is the planet and goddess of love and abundance. We have her in Sagittarius, but we have Mercury there also. The planet of logic and communication and travel. So I think that's big. Jupiter, Sagittarius' ruler, went direct today. What else? Went direct in Pisces, so that's another key, because during the period that the 2 weeks of the Sagittarius new moon will cover, preceding the Gemini full moon, we also will have Neptune go direct. And while Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter is also the esoteric or ancient ruler of Pisces as well, where it had been retrograde, but again went direct today. And Neptune, Pisces' other ruler, goes direct next week. So I just think all of this is important. Also, today, not only were Mercury and Venus both located in Sagittarius, but they were both at 9 degrees, which means they were conjunct. So that was going on. The sun was at 1 degree. I keep forgetting to check and see where the moon was, so I don't remember anymore what degree the moon was at. But you get the point. A lot of positive energy. So anyway, although I plan on focusing on this deck, let me tell you what I'm starting with this deck. It's the King of Wands, which actually represents the sign of Sagittarius. So that's pretty cool that I shuffled and ended up on him. Even though there's a lion in the picture, which would, give Leo feels, or does give Leo feels, at least to me. The King of Wands in traditional tarot does most directly correlate to the sign of Sagittarius. It does, of course, also represent the energy of Aries and Leo, however. So that's pretty cool. And again, this is from before the tarot, so you'll notice it looks a little bit different than in the actual Rider-Waite deck. In fact, the king doesn't yet have his wand. It's being handed to him by God. He hasn't received it or taken it yet. So, in before the tarot. The next deck, we have a 3 of Wands. So this is all fire or wands, or I guess Sagittarius energy that we happen to have ended up with, coincidentally. I don't believe in coincidences. You guys know that. The 3 of Wands, it can mean many things. Well, 3s in general tend to be about patience and you need to wait. This one is about waiting for your manifestations to finish coming in. You're almost there. Of course, with the completion, we see the 4 of Wands. So you like I said, you're more than half the way there. With the 1 or the Ace of Wands, or this beginning wand, is the idea, the thought, the concept, or whatever that you want to work on. With the Two of Wands is where the faith comes in, the belief that it's actually going to come to pass. The Three of Wands, we can actually start to see something taking formation. So you can see that he sees his ships about to come in. They're not, yet at the dock, but he can see with his eyes, right? It's more tangible now that his ships are coming in. The Three of Wands also tends to mean that there's nothing else, like you've done everything you need to do or that you can do toward making this thing happen. So it's like out of your hands now. It's in, God's hands, the universe's hands, or however you want to put it, or the other person's hands for their free will, whatever. You've done what you can. I'll just go ahead and mention that behind this is Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. It was in reverse, so I otherwise wouldn't have mentioned it, but since it is Major Arcana, and since it's Gemini, and again, we have both of Gemini's rulers, both Mercury and Venus, Gemini's esoteric or ancient ruler, again, both located in Sagittarius. This could be, meaningful. So that's the Three of Wands, and then we have the Sun. Which also represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot, although Earth's star, the actual sun that, rises in the east and sets in the west, here in this planet, rules the sign of Leo. So again, this is just fire energy, but most directly, at least in traditional tarot, correlating to the energy of Sagittarius, which today happens to be all about. So that's good. Again, taking advantage of this energy. So let's do a little shuffling. Also, there may be a story here. There could be a King of Wands who is about to take on or accept, this Ace of Wands, this one, and take some sort of action. Right now, he looks like he's in thinking mode. Like he's not ready to do anything, but maybe when he grasps the wand, because again, this is before the tarot, he'll move on. He'll move on to working on manifesting something, maybe something having to do with a relationship with the Lovers behind him, and also with the fact that we start out with one person and we end up with two in the, the end by the end of the story with the after the tarot deck. So this could have something to do with travel too. Visiting someone with the ships, with the travel, maybe going to meet somebody or visit somebody that you have some sort of relationship with or connection to. Two people, doesn't have to be romantic, but again, very possibly could be with the Lovers there underneath that Three of Wands. Some information or news could be coming out. Clarity about something. With the King of Wands here, Wands again in general on their own tend to be about travel or career, work. So this could be good news about work for someone as well. Look, opened right up to another Ace of Wands. I mean, I can't make this shit up. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about the Ace of Wands here because this Ace of Wands is going to the King. It seems to be coming from the hand of God, a hand of the universe. And then, boom, hand, wand. Just open right to it. Just going to shuffle a couple times. We've got a Knight of Pentacles here. So again, this could have something to do with work, career, finances. Maybe something that had been or is a slow-moving energy. We got another 3 here. So again, 3s are about patience, but the 3 of Pentacles in particular is about direct compensation, or compensation directly connected or correlating to work effort that you put in. So being paid for what you've done. For the Chariot now in reverse. More Pentacles. More relationship type stuff, whether it's a soulmate relationship, romantic relationship, somebody from your past, or something having to do with your family, childhood, your children, your siblings, is often what the Six of Cups is about for me. Maybe deciding to heal a relationship with somebody, deciding that you're ready to work together, to collaborate, or to at least coexist, to set aside your differences, if not permanently, maybe for a time, maybe because of the holidays or something. Boom, Ace of Wands again. More fire energy with Major Arcana card Strength, represents the sign of Leo. Queen of Wands in reverse. I don't feel like getting the stand. I wonder if I could stand the cards up against this deck, against these boxes. Let's see. So I'm using this deck, which again is the traditional Rider-Waite deck. Our overall energy is the Ace of Wands. And the first card is our primary focus this week. It's the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So an end to any feelings of being left out in the cold or lack. If you did actually experience lack, there's a turnaround. If you don't see it already, it's on its way. So think Three of Wands, like, it's things are beginning to change. You should be able to see something tangible starting very soon if you haven't already. Surrounding energy involving close family, friends, co-workers, things happening down at the job, mates, love interests, spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, all that kind of stuff. Knight of Wands, so card of action, more Wands energy. Again, it's par for the course today. Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And nights are about action for me. Like pages bring the news, the messages, and the nights make a move. This has to do with love. It could be somebody, again, who's sort of swooping in. They don't always stay. The Knight of Wands could be a super temporary energy. Like he'll come, check on you, hit you up. He's texting, he's, calling, and then all of a sudden he disappears again. But we'll see. Maybe I'll clarify something. What's next? Work and finance. Ace of Swords, reverse. Could be waiting on news, information. Did I get the job? What's happening? Am I getting a bonus? And we don't know yet. We'll dive a little deeper into that in a moment. Love and relationship. Nine of Wands in reverse. I'm out of room. Physical health. Five of Swords. Something going on there. Spiritual health. Six of Wands, reverse. All right. Then the overall energy is the Ace of Wands, so that's still very positive for all of our placements, and we must keep it in mind. So starting with our overall energy, aces of any suit indicate new beginnings, fresh starts. Whoa, I hadn't picked up to see what was behind it. It's the Ten of Pentacles, which is pretty cool. So again, if this is having to do with work or career, which the Wands, energy of Wands, suit of Wands often can, then this is a good job. This is a bonus. This is, a raise. This is a transfer to do something else where you're going to be making a new salary that's increased. If it has to do with relationship, this is something that has the makings to be long-term, happy, maybe blending of families. It's going to have to do with like receiving a lump sum of money, maybe even something having to do with luck, since it's Jupiter, lottery, a scratch off, some other win of some sort. There's also an offer of some kind. It's not a huge offer, it's nothing, but it's something positive, something that can put a smile on your face. And the next card is the Tower in reverse. So maybe some sort of negative situation was avoided, and instead things are coming out good, or we've had some sort of revelation. Again, not tremendous, but enough to again, maybe make us make a move, make some sort of offer, apology, send a nice text, wish somebody well. Or again, we receive good news about some sort of abundance that is coming in, something tied to this new beginning, whether it has to do with love or money. Again, the aces, the wands are generally connected to work or career, but if you're having some sort of difficult time in your life and you pull an ace of wands in a reading, then it tends to mean that things are likely to be getting much better very soon. And which is what I was saying about our primary focus this week, right? Like if you haven't experienced it already, it's about to happen for you. So again, the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Now with the 10 of Pentacles upright, it's making even more sense, because this card can signal a time when you're about to move from feeling, not very secure, into feeling much more safer, stable, and like everything's going to be okay. Whether it's because you've realized that the time has come for you to reach out to others and to get some support, or because, you're beginning to see some like concrete prospects, whether it's for a job or some other opportunity or good things, some money to come your way, or love to come your way, or whatever it is that you're in need of or wanting. So you know that it's a good thing, and you can see things on the horizon. But again, with the Ten of Pentacles, something abundant. Again, whether it's a relationship or it's an actually something having to do with money or the material, it is super positive. Maybe you wanted to have money for travel and you didn't before, and now you're going to. Maybe you wanted to travel for the holidays. I mean, these people are walking around in the snow. Maybe it's for Christmas time. You wanted to be able to travel for Christmas, or even for for Thanksgiving. Although this reading is for the week after Thanksgiving, and you hadn't been able to. You didn't think you were going to be able to, and now that money is coming in. And I'm saying that because again, in the surrounding energy is the Knight of Wands, and when the Knight of Wands appears, it's always a great time for travel. And sometimes him showing up means that you're going to be able to manage to get away somewhere. So if you can, you should, is the message, or the full message. You should be feeling like sort of energized when you see him too. If, whether it has something to do with travel or not, energy, full of energy, ready to like get things done, passionate about stuff that you care about, people that you care about, ready to take some sort of action, feeling, confident. Um, so if your confidence had been down, you have been experiencing, maybe some sort of depression or low self-esteem or whatever, this is where you feel like your self-confidence is on the rise, and, you're getting better, you're feeling more like yourself, and it should help you to move toward your goals, to take some sort of action. Also, because it's in the placement of surrounding energy, somebody could be, again, wanting to travel to you, or you could be wanting to travel to somebody, to visit someone. Maybe you're going someplace warmer. We did start out like, again, they're in the sun. I mean, they're in the snow in the winter, and we did start out with the sun. Major Arcana card, the sun, at the top of one of the decks. I think it was the After the Tarot. So, maybe you're leaving this cold weather and you're going to visit somebody where it's sunny, or somebody from where it's sunny is coming to visit you. If it doesn't have anything to do with travel, literally it can be metaphoric. Again, there's movement, there's increase, moving toward abundance. Things are getting better. You're able to take action. You're feeling more confident about decisions and actions that you're taking. Moving on to work and finance, what I said before about, or in addition to what I said before about the Ace of Swords in reverse, and maybe a delay in information, or something going on with information. There could be miscommunications too, maybe having to do with your work or at your job. You could be having a misunderstanding about work or with somebody at your job. You're just guided not to make any like sudden decisions or moves when it comes to work. Like, don't decide all of a sudden that a job that you've been passionate about and loved, for the past 20 years, like all of a sudden it sucks and you hate it. That not that that can't happen, but um, like think about it first. Think about it first to make sure that that's how you really feel. If you're looking for work, try to think about um, the job and the interview process and maybe your resume from the hiring person's perspective. And maybe you need to change something like the way your resume looks or the way that you're going dressed to the interview or whatever. Again, picture yourself as the interviewer and think about, would you hire you if you went presenting the way that you did, or what maybe you should be saying that you're not, or you shouldn't be saying that you have been, or stuff like that. um, just basically how can you show that you're prepared for a new career, particularly if you're changing career paths. If it's, you've taken some sort of action to do something completely different, then you want to make sure that you are presenting yourself as somebody qualified to do this new thing. In terms of finances specifically, the reverse Ace of Swords, um, again, there could be misunderstandings and mistakes and stuff. So it calls for you to sort of like triple check um, things about your money, your receipts, your paycheck. Um, if you made some sort of like you've gotten involved in some sort of new investments or something you're unfamiliar with, check up on it. Even someone like that you've worked with for years can um, make mistakes. So like if well, I trust the payroll clerk at my job, my check has always been right. Maybe this week it won't be, like that kind of thing. So even with somebody you check, just make sure you trust, make sure. Or, you go to the same little small town bank every week and you get the same teller and you know her by name. Hey, Mary, you going to play bingo later? Yeah, I'm going to be. And she's always on point. She never makes a mistake. Well, this week she may, that type of thing. Just check, double check, and triple check. Ace of Swords in reverse is also going to warn against overthinking. So in this case, it would be overthinking with regard to work or lack thereof, or like underemployment or whatever the situation is. Being overthinking in that regard, or even directly about finances, whether they have to do with your work or not. Just spending too much time on that, and maybe again it's the holidays, maybe not enough time with family, with friends, and things like that. Um, Love, relationship, Nine of Wands. Okay, in reverse. So with this card, maybe something's been going on between you and your partner or love interest, um, mate, whatever it is, and you may 1,000% believe and be 100% convinced, um, that you're right about whatever the situation is, and the other person is wrong. And that may be the case. that may be true, but you're not going to be able to force another person to see your point of view through like yelling, anger, coercion, being disrespectful. People tend to disengage with that, and actually see the other person's point of view came up earlier today when I recorded, or this morning when I recorded the Sagittarius new moon reading as well. That was one of the cards that came out. And I think a Nine of Wands showed up too. It was in a more general context. It wasn't specific to love. So I didn't give this message about it. But now I'm learning maybe they were tied, and maybe I should have given this message about it. I'm giving it now. So whatever. Try, like the song Try a Little Tenderness. And that's like a holiday song too, or at least it's come to be, like known as a holiday song, at least in Black families. That's when I tend to hear it the most, around Christmas time. But that's what you got to do. Try a little tenderness. Try to be gentle with yourself, with your partner, with your mate, with your love interest. Not in a phony way. Not in where you're like necessarily like walking on eggshells or tiptoeing around folks. But just trying to see their point of view, trying to be a little bit more understanding, listen a little bit better, maybe communicate a little bit better too. And the same can be true if you're looking for love also, so thinking about the Knight of Wands, this sort of coming in hot, um, might get you burned right now with the Nine of Wands showing up in reverse, specifically in the placement of love, and relationship. All right, moving on to the Five of Swords and health, physical health. So this can be about stress, right? We're conflicted, we're stressed about something. I'm just going to hold it up since it's one of the cards that I laid down. I should have just put another box on the table. Yeah, this can be about stress, and it's another card that says to be gentle with yourself. We got like a few of those here. Between the Five of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Ace of Swords. Now this one, it's pretty interesting. Self-love, self-care is like a huge underlying message here. But it's like, if you're angry, allow yourself to express it, but in like a healthy way, safely, carefully. Again, not carefully in the sense that you're being phony or you're walking on eggshells or tiptoeing around people, but just that you're being gentle with yourself. You're not, uh, running up your own blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, this can be like worry and guilt and all these kind of things that we hold on to when we walk around with are useless. It's so much, they're useless to us, and they're useless to the other person that we feel it about. And blame and all that kind of thing. Like, what doesn't serve anybody. Let it go. Because if you're causing yourself stress, you're only causing harm to you. You're not causing physical harm to the other person. Rest and relaxation can also be very important with this card showing up in the placement of health and relationship. Health and health, not health and relationship. What the hell? Well, maybe it has something to do with relationships for some, because we're stressed out. And I just said, these cards are about being gentle with yourself too. So maybe you are stressed out about a relationship. Even if that's the case, it's not going to do you any good to walk around with guilt and blame and anger that only hurts you. So find a way to forgive yourself, the other person, to seek forgiveness and all those things, and to sit down and have adult conversations with folks if you at all can. Some of us might be stressed specifically about work and or finances, especially if there's been some sort of mistake or error with our money, our nest egg, an investment, or something. I mean, I feel like you're going to be able to straighten it out. And even if you, I mean, God forbid you couldn't straighten it out, but is walking around, on the verge of having a heart attack, is that going to solve the problem or resolve the issue with the bank or whatever it is? No. So yeah, I'll probably pull a clarifier for this to see what it might be tied to for most people, or, maybe how it turns out. We'll get to see, because I don't know. I'm just feeling like a way about it. Moving on to the Six of Wands, which is also in reverse in the position of spiritual health. So the Six of Wands in reverse can be about like expecting the universe, expecting God, expecting your higher self, however you identify with these things, to like do things for you without you putting in any effort or doing any work. You ever heard that saying, prayer without works is dead? It means like, if you pray but you don't put in the effort to make something happen too, you don't do your part, like, it kind of means nothing. It's just words, like empty words. And the same could be true about manifestation. I mean, when I say like you do nothing, you didn't do the work can be just holding on to your faith. You still got to do your part. Now, sometimes we do get stuff like that. Sometimes the universe does give us stuff. We're like, what did I do to get this? Like, Six of Pentacles type of things, right? Things just seem to fall out of the sky. Blessings just seem to fall out of the sky. So that can happen. But right now it's not happening. And you're expecting it to happen is what the card means. So like, be open to insights that you're given from others, um, at least enough to like consider them. Be even if you're gonna end up rejecting it and saying no thanks for your help. Um, but if you're having trouble connecting directly with, again, spirit, your higher self, God, the universe, and someone else is giving you some sort of input, guidance, suggestion, then they may have the answers. They may not. Like Kanye said, Sway, you don't have the answers. Right? But then he turned around and said, I have to apologize. Sway had the answers, right? So it could be a situation like that. You're not connecting, you haven't done the work, but you're looking for guidance, and now guidance is around you. It's showing up in a different form. Since you're not really connecting with spirit, give it a fair consideration before just rather than rejecting something just like out of hand. And that doesn't necessarily mean accept everything that other people say either. Use some discernment. So again, either way, you got to do some work, because it's calling on you to be the one to use the discernment. I do, like I said, want to clarify. So I said I was going to use these two decks. This is the Before the Tarot deck. Remember, we had an overall energy of the Chariot in reverse, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to turn it over here so that I can pull a card. And then with this other deck, we had an overall energy of the Queen of Wands in reverse. Same thing. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just turning it on its side. Turning it over so that I can pull an additional card. I think for love and for physical health. All right, love. Before the tarot, right? We have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. And this is before she is upset. This is before she is coming off cold, and before she is like, no nonsense, I don't even want to listen to you. I mean, look how gentle she's being even. She's receiving this gift from an angel. Her sword is down. She's not even prepared to use it if, God forbid, somebody walks up on her. So this is how you want to go in. Especially if you are a Queen of Swords and you got like a tongue that cuts like a knife. With regard to this love situation, you're going to want to be gentle instead. And also a Queen of Swords in connection to love. One of the meanings of the Queen of Swords in general, in the placement of love, is that she can be too pushy, and ends up pushing people away. So this is about, again, being more gentle, loving, caring in your approach, and not like you're ready to strike. This, and the situation that you're having may involve an actual Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes, although it does not have to. So that's before. And then after the tarot, we have the King of Cups upright. And look at the King of Cups here. Now, in his action, it looks like he's trying to share, like he's giving water emotions to someone else. But in his face, he looks sort of down. I just heard this Drake. I just spilled my emotions. I'm sorry. What is that from? Oh, Rihanna. Work, work, work. It's a line from that. So this too, I think, has to do with the way you talk to people, the way you're dealing with people, because again, in that line that I just heard when I looked at this card, and Drake is a Scorpio too, I think. So that's interesting. Maybe it's most directly a Scorpio that this is going to happen with. Although the King of Cups, as I recall, is most directly a Pisces. It doesn't matter. He can be a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces, or someone like into those traits or attributes that's not a water sign at all. But I just, looking at the card And hearing that line and then looking at this guy's face, um, he does seem like, oh man, I screwed up. Apologetic. I think it has to do with, yes, spilling your emotions. So then we're going to want to be gentle with ourselves and with our mates or love interests, and how we're dealing with them and how we're talking to them. Um, Rihanna herself has a line about how she dealt. I think that might be a different song actually. How she dealt with somebody the nicest. Nope, it's the same song. It's the same song because I can hear the melody behind it now. You know, I dealt with you the nicest. Don't bother to text me in a crisis. It's work, work, work. So maybe you have to work, work, work at the relationship to fix it. And again, you're going to have to do it in a gentle way, you know, with each other. Handle each other with care. And yourselves too. Handle yourself with care as well. Okay, the Five of Swords and health before the tarot. Ten of Cups in reverse. Something may have happened with family or with loved ones, with a relationship. With someone, it could be a breakup of family that could have occurred. Maybe family getting into an argument, not speaking, or even something as far as divorce, separation of family that maybe has somebody stressed out, or the need to get out of a relationship and maybe get out of a family that has somebody stressed out, because we still have to keep in mind that the overall energy is very, very positive. With the Ace of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles behind it. So if you're leaving a relationship, it's a negative one. But if you're conflicted about it, like maybe you feel like you have to stay because it's a family. Like, I can't leave. I got kids with this person. And let me see what happens with the After the Tarot deck. It's the Star in reverse. I mean, you have some sort of dreams and aspirations, wishes, probably somebody else you'd rather be with, that you view as a star, who views you as a star, or both. You pour into each other, you know. They water themselves, they water you too. And you're the same way. You water yourself, you water them too. It's not like a selfish thing. It's like a genuine love and mutual concern and adoration and caring. Also, there's a lot of vulnerability involved here with this, with the nude body. Nude female body always speaks about vulnerability for me. You know, like literally down to your bare essence. Like, this is me. This is the real me, and I'm just open, and something that you're wanting is coming in with this Star in reverse. Star in reverse specific to health. Star reverse, for health, as I recall, is about positive results. Like if you're waiting for test results or something, or news from the doctor. Like I said, somebody waiting on news. It's crossing this Ace of Swords. So even though it doesn't have to be about work, or it could be about work, you're waiting for news from your boss, and so it's causing you anxiety and agita and stuff. News is going to be good. If you're waiting for news from a doctor, you're waiting for test results, news is going to be good. Tied specifically to love and relationship, or this family that may be breaking up. And maybe these two people that are walking away, maybe they're members of the family. Or they may be on the breaking up or on the outs or whatever it is. Love and relationship, the Star in reverse says that there are obstacles that one or both, or how many people, if it's poly, how many people are involved in the relationship, need to overcome before things are going to, you know, be as you would want them to be. So it sort of fits into what's going on here. But at the end of the day, it's the Star in reverse. And so it's still a good omen. It still bodes well for love and relationship. And again, it means you can't, there is the ability, the possibility, if there's the work behind it, because again, prayers and wishes without works is dead. So if you're willing to put the work behind it, the work, there it has the makings here for everything to turn out fine. It may give you a fresh start, and that stability and security that you're looking for, and at least a kind gesture or small love offer or proposal that's coming your way, and you end up avoiding just a complete tower moment, like crisis averted. You know what I mean? And now that I thought that I was just picking up the tower, I didn't realize I picked up all of these. All right, all of these, and that revealed this. So I was saying crisis averted, and you're going to move on to, better things, and that's what this card demonstrates. This is, again, moving into calmer, stiller waters. This can be a card about travel. So for some people, there's that travel connection again, too. And this is about leaving, the past and disappointments and maybe arguments and things like that, leaving those things behind you and moving on to better times. Let's look at a couple of secret messages of love. I didn't pull these out before and shuffle them, so we'll just let a couple fall where they may. Let's see. Here's one. That looks like a lot, but let's let them fall if they want to fall. 3. I'll do one more. And there it is. So we have like 2 for each archetype. And then the overall energy here is, I know you're sad, but I will make things right between us. So it could be tied into whatever this love and relationship message is. And then we got, trust me, I will reach out to you soon. Just for those who are in separation or, maybe at a distance. 3 of Wands, not speaking, whatever the case is. All of the above. I stay awake thinking about you, and I fall asleep dreaming about you. You are always in my thoughts. You are always on my mind. So if you think they didn't care, that's incorrect. I wasn't prepared for the importance that you would have in my life. This came out earlier in the Sagittarius moon reading that I did as well. I think I started out with it, as a matter of fact. It was the beginning card. And I may not always show it, but I care about you a lot, and I don't want to lose this connection. And that's what I have for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. Please do continue to pray, speaking of health situations, for not just the one client and supportive viewer that I have that I know is unwell and dealing with a cancer situation, and his wife, but for any and all of us out there who need the prayer, please do pray for the entire collective. It is much appreciated. But yes, I am asking for a focus on that couple, so that my his health can be restored and their family can be restored. Right. I'm going to, for those who want to stick around, open up my laptop now. I'm signing in. I just signed in. You can't hear it because I have it on silent, apparently. But I'm going to check out the planetary calendar and just go over. I meant to go over all the things that were happening between the Sagittarius moon and the Gemini moon and the other reading. So let me do that now. Just go over them all. So going back to the 23rd, November 23rd, at 5:57 p.m. was when the new moon in Sagittarius occurred, and it was at 1 degree. So I was saying that the sun was at 1 degree. Maybe it was the moon that I was remembering, because it said the sun may have been at 1 degree also, because on the 22nd at 3:20 a.m. is when it entered Sagittarius at 0 degrees. So that's pretty cool. November 23rd at 6:02 p.m., Jupiter went direct, as I mentioned, 28 degrees Pisces. November 30th, 3:36 a.m., Pallas, the asteroid, goes retrograde in Cancer. also on November 30th at 9:36 a.m. or 9/9. So the Palace retrograde is at 3:36 a.m. and then later on, 6 hours later at 9:36 a.m. we have the first quarter moon, 8 degrees Pisces. Then on December 3rd at 7:15 p.m., Neptune goes direct, 22 degrees Pisces. So that's like 11:11 or 13:04. But I was mentioning Neptune before in terms of being the other ruler of the sign of Pisces, in addition to Jupiter, which we talked about so much today in this reading. On December 6th at 5:08 p.m., Mercury enters Capricorn at 0 degrees. And then on December 7th at 11:08 p.m., we will experience that full moon in Gemini at 16 degrees Gemini. So now going back to this week, specifically, the transit that occurs for this reading is on December 3rd at 7:15 p.m. Neptune goes direct. So it's this week. It's not next week. That the last day for which this reading is. So it's next Saturday. And to talk about it, I should have opened a page. Doesn't look like I have, but let's open a page at www.tarot.com. Okay, Neptune direct. Life gets hazy as nebulous Neptune moves forward. Nebulous Neptune is the planet of illusion and confusion, and when it goes retrograde for roughly half of each year, life can feel a little too real. Neptune is the planet that protects us from reality when it's too harsh. Neptune gives us faith, spirituality, and dreams. So when it goes retrograde, we see things very clearly and we find it harder to escape. I've had some really vivid dreams that I've had to like write down. I guess during this period when Neptune was retrograde or is retrograde. Neptune direct. Neptune direct, on the other hand, gives us a break. It sort of encourages us to live in denial and to ignore the nagging fears we don't feel quite ready to face. But that's okay because it does inspire our imaginations and gives us faith. There is a dark side, however, to Neptune direct, as there is anytime you choose fantasy over reality. And that is that we may take our escapism too far and delude ourselves into doing the wrong things, like staying in bad relationships or jobs. But if we try to think a little bit more objectively, we can avoid that pitfall. Use this time instead to appreciate your ability to dream and the expressions of compassion you meet. Neptune wants to show you the ideal beauty in the world, and this is your chance to let go and to feel your way through it with all your heart. So I talked about like not rushing into certain things earlier with these cards. But it sounds like we also need to be careful towards the end of the week about staying in things that aren't meant for us or aren't good for us either. So again, you're going to want to think about stuff and consider things, but not overthinking in an obsessive, unhealthy way. And that's the guidance I have for you. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I do ask that you please like, share, subscribe, and comment because YouTube keeps lying and saying that that's going to do something. So we keep trying to do it. And I'll be back soon with something else. Namaste.